Video will demonstrate the use of emacs and the Java and Java-C commands within the Linux environment. We'll assume that you've logged into csc.oakland.edu using either SSH or PuTTY along with VNC. So issue the emacs command with the ampersand on the end. To start an editor session from the terminal window, the ampersand will allow you to continue to issue commands in your terminal window while the emacs session is active. And we'll start by typing in some documentation. It's helpful to know the name of the file, what the purpose of the program is that we're trying to code, the author, um, also how to compile the program and how to execute the program if somebody else comes along and wants to um, execute the code that we've written. And even we may forget how to compile or execute our own code after we've stored it for a while and then come back to it maybe months or years later. After this entry-level documentation, we want to code some of the lines that will control execution of the program. First thing we'll do is we'll write a import statement that uses the J option pane methods for graphical input and output. And after the import statement comes the class statement. The name of the class should be the same as the name of the file. And within a Java application, one of the methods should be called main, and all the main methods start out with the same line, listing some arguments that we won't use in this application, but perhaps in the future we might. And we will need one variable to store a string that the user will input, and basically that'll be the user's name. So we use the JOption pane show input dialog method to prompt the user to type in a name onto the machine, and then we'll store it into that variable called name for later retrieval. And then we'll simply turn around and display that user's name that they typed in at the keyboard on the monitor. And again, this will happen with the JOption pane show message dialog method. That method has 4 parameters or 4 arguments. I recommend that you use null for the first one. The second one will be the message to be displayed, so we'll simply say hello and then whatever name the user typed in at the keyboard. The third argument will be the banner that displays on the graphical image that is displayed when we display the user's name, and we'll simply just call that the hello program banner. And then finally, we get to choose the icon that is displayed, and we'll use the information message icon. Now, up to this point, I've been letting Emacs by default determine what level of indentation is on the code, and that's not a bad idea. However, I didn't particularly care for the manner in which Emacs adjusted the second line of the JOption pane show message dialog, and so I moved it to the left some, but Emacs is going to be a little bit stubborn and try and shift it to the right again, so I'll just have to correct it one more time. And then that way I can see the whole statement within one window of Emacs. And then we'll close off the main method, and when we're done, we'll close off the class. So now that we've got this program typed in, we'll want to open up the file method and then save the program to disk. Of course, you're saving to the disk of the Linux system that you're on, not saving to your local machine. And now to compile the program, open up the Tools menu and click on the Compile command. That will display the make-k at the bottom of the screen that you backspace over and replace with javac hello.java. And the program compiles without errors in this case. If there are errors, you got to repair them. And then to execute the command, you type in Java space hello in the terminal window. And now the program will execute its code, and it prompts the user for a name. So the user types in a name, and then the program responds with the message hello to the user, displaying the icon and the banner that we chose. In order to shut down correctly, under the File menu, you want to quit your emacs session. That'll shut down that window. And then in the terminal session, you type in the exit command. To get out of the GNOME environment correctly, under the Systems menu, you want to take the log out. And then click on the red button on the upper left-hand corner of the window, and that'll shut that down. And you probably have to shut down your terminal session on your local machine